Is this a my corner of the internet thing? I did rev my engine. Oh no, not the puns. My worst fears are coming true, but not in the way that I thought that they would. It's time to start another reading vlog. And this time around, we are doing books that have been on my TBR for a little while and really terrify me because a lot of people love them. And I have a habit of not loving very popular books, so I've been putting them off. But I really want to read them because I love being a fangirl. I do not like this thing about myself where I just don't jive with what everybody else is loving. Nothing brought me more joy than being part of the Twilight fandom until it got weird. Some of y'all misbehaved. Also, oh, you can't see him. Well, I can't show him without showing you outside. And we're not doing that because no one needs to know where I live. But he's looking so handsome in the window there. So he's joining us early. The books that I want to read, I've already talked about on my TBR. But if you haven't watched it, that's totally fine. I will reintroduce them. And I don't know what order I'm going to read these in just yet. But the first one is A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. So this is like right person, wrong time again, more wrong times, all the wrong times on the last page they get together.
Okay, pause. Did you all just see that piece of cat hair that just launched itself at me like a missile? The bizarre stuff you notice while editing. Anyway, let's get back to it.
That's that one. For something a little bit darker, I have Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. I have been putting this one off so hard. Like, I adore Pam Godwin, and the fear I feel when I think about actually trying to read this book is immense because it's student teacher, which is not my favorite trope, but I did like Lessons in Sin. Is that her other student teacher one? I did really like that one. Should I give you how many people have rated this? These aren't Well, my dryer's done. That one had a hairball earlier today, so I had to watch it. I had to wash the blanket that I was laying on because he came to me for comfort and then just Ralphed right on top of it. Where was I? Oh yes, I was gonna give you the number of ratings on Goodreads. Okay, so as of when I'm filming, this has over 70,000 ratings. Dark Notes has over 37,000 ratings, so another cult following there. And then the last one I have for you is Ivy by Devney Perry. So this is romantic thriller. I've heard it's like Gossip Girl. It's like Pretty Little Liars kinds of vibes. There's, I think, some sort of like mystery or something going on. Everyone says don't look into it too much before you read it. And this one has... That can't possibly be right. This has only 5,000 ratings? How is that possible? This was everywhere on my feed in 2022 when it came out. Everybody was reading this. Everybody was raving about, is this a my corner of the internet thing? Can other people tell me if you've heard of this? It's also under the name Clarence Manor. Okay, hold on. We need to find a new book. Hold please, because this doesn't meet the criteria. I still really want to read this. I fear we must switch it out. Hold on. Okay. I have my laptop with me. I just sorted my want to read shelf by the number of ratings. I'm eliminating some because I'm simply not in the mood. One that I know has some summery vibes, which I think would be good for this time of year, considering it's summer. I'm in a tank top. Ooh, my bicep looked good there for a second. And it went away. Never mind. My bicep did not look good. I think we should read Flock by Kate Stewart because it has more than both of those other books combined. 2,400, nope, what? That's absolutely incorrect. It has 247,000 ratings. I'm never saying numbers again. I don't know how to read them. I guess we're reading Flock instead. Oh, this is why choose? Why did I not know that? Okay, I know nothing about this book. I also think this is one that you're not supposed to know a lot going in, so I'm just going to start reading it. And honestly, I think I'm going to start with that book, mostly because I'm more excited for the other two. A lot of my friends are ride or die for Dark Notes and A Love Letter to Whiskey. So let's start with Flock because, you know, we'll just knock it out. We'll get it out of the way and then we'll know. I'm going to start reading that and I will get back to you when I have some thoughts. Oh, also, nothing to do with books before we get into things. I am self-conscious about this. Nobody else is going to notice this. I can almost guarantee it. But I fear I keep looking at it and it's bothering me. So I'm an adult now. And unfortunately, that means your vision just starts going on you, which is really unfortunate, especially as someone who likes to read. So I've always had my glasses because I can see far, but I can't see close. to my face. So I put them on when I like read and I work, but I don't necessarily wear them all the time. But then recently they were like, you should probably be wearing your glasses more because you got one eye that is out to lunch and you could lose sight in that eye. And I was like, most excellent. I will wear my glasses more. And then I started getting really freaked out because sometimes I would forget to wear my glasses. So now I have contacts. This is a really roundabout way to tell you I got contacts. And one thing about me, even when I'm not good at something, I'm very determined to get it right. And you know, that's not necessarily a good thing when we're talking about putting contacts on your eyeballs. And so I ripped out a chunk of lashes right here and I can just see the little bald patch. I got a tubing mascara to try and like give it a little bit of extra height in that area. And so it looks like I still have eyelashes there, but it is in real life, there is a stark contrast between my eyelashes. So I feel the need to say something about it because it's been bothering me and I can see it. I can see it right there. Ooh, I hate it. Okay, nobody else cares though, which is great. I'm gonna go read my book now. I will probably check in with you tomorrow because it's kind of late today. See you soon. Friends, family, countrymen, lend me your ear. 'Tis I. I have an update for you on Flock. So it's the next day. I'm just getting done with work. I was like, I need to update. I need to update you all because I'm already 30% in despite only having read for a little bit last night and a little bit this morning. Like I even had early morning meetings. I'm reading this so fast. But before I talk more about what I think about the book, let's actually talk about what this book is about. So it's about almost nothing. That's so mean. Not really, but like kind of. It's just sort of like an aimless summer romance. And Kevin is sniffing my leg. I do believe he wants to say hi. Hi, buddy. You want to show everyone your belly? He could not be less interested. Now he wants to jump on the counter. You know you're not allowed there. That's disrespectful. Basically, our heroine is taking a gap year to work at her father's factory. She just graduated high school and it's like the summer after high school and she's working at what? I already said this. She's working at her dad's factory. So her dad is kind of this bigwig, but he really wasn't involved in her life very much. But she's living with him now, partially because he wants her to like take over his legacy with this company, I guess. They've had no relationship prior to this. Like he signed what are the checks that you send? Hold on. Child support payments. So he signed those checks but then he wasn't like involved at all. Like they have no relationship. So it's very weird that she's going to live with him. But she kind of has to because her mom is not doing well. She's kind of crashing out. It just sounds like her mom's just not very emotionally mature, generally speaking, on top of the alcohol issue potentially. She had the heroin when she was quite young. And so it seems like she just kind of emotionally was a little bit stunted. And so the heroin played mom a little bit more. Hi, sir. Can you just be quiet for a minute? I will love you more in a second. Well, I love you right now, but I will also love you more. You know what? You just wait and see. So anyway, so she's like working at this factory and just kind of like getting to know people in this small town. She hits it off pretty immediately during orientation with one guy. And then he's like, hey, come to this party. And then she meets, I think, 2 other dudes.
Nope, there's just one more.
I'm having a hard time keeping track of the boys, mostly because I don't know how many there are supposed to be. I know that there's at least 2.
Great job, girly pop. You nailed it.
I can never tell the men apart because I'm like, it seems man-shaped. And then my mind blanks out after that. 2 that I remember are, and maybe this is it,
It is. There's only 2 man meets.
is Dominic, who's the grumpy grouchy one, and then, let's call him Stuart. Sean. So he seems to be a little bit more, he's not really a golden retriever type. Actually, you know what he seems like? He seems like that stoner boyfriend that you had in high school that you thought was like really philosophical and deep, but it turns out he just smokes weed a lot. He talks a lot about being in the present moment. He's kind of got an air of mystery because of that, but he's a little bit more all in with the heroin than the other guy. The other guy just seems to be kind of a jerk. Yeah, we're 30% in. It do be getting spicy. Oh boy. I don't know how I feel about it. It feels a little bit early. So far, it's not like anything's really happening. It's just like kind of an aimless, angsty summer where she's like, I want to say yes more. You know, these guys are like, here's my life philosophy that I'm thrusting upon you, but also, oh, well, there is thrusting. Oh my God, I need to stop talking. You know what? Let's wrap things up here. You get the gist. You get what's going on. So far, I'm enjoying it. It doesn't have a lot of direction. We'll see where this goes. Why, hello there. So it's the next day. I look like a gremlin because it's after work and I can't be bothered. We are joined by my illustrious snuggle companion, this little man right here. Oh, he's so handsome. Look at him. Oh, you're beautiful. We can stop with that. Update. I just posted yesterday. tonight. I can't remember. I posted about, I was reading Flock, and I am really happy that I did that. Sam from Sam Reads Little, apropos of nothing, was just like, hey girl, you reading that? I love that book. You gotta be patient though. And I really needed that, I'm not gonna lie. Because I was like, when does this come together? Because I've been reading it and I was like, I'm having a fun little summery angsty time, but what do be that plot? I kept kind of like coming back to that question because I can tell that there's something, because at the beginning, she's coming back to this small town and I'm like reliving the memory of this summer. Like something happens clearly. It's been just kind of like running around, why choosing it up, eggplant everywhere, mysteries abound, the boys aren't really giving her answers about anything, and so they're just kind of being mysterious. And it's like, there's nothing really to put together because they just don't answer questions. I'm having a good time while I'm reading it. Like, I feel like I'm coming across like snarky. I'm not being snarky. I like this book. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what matters. We did get a car racing scene, and that is that is my weakness in books. That did keep me going. That did rev my engine. Oh, no, not the puns. Girl, no. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm just like hanging out with my kitty cat and having some dinner on a Friday night because I'm super cool. I was gonna say, I'll probably finish it tonight and update you tomorrow. I don't know if I'll update you tomorrow because tomorrow is my friend's divorce party and that will be taking up most of the day. Why did I say it's so Minnesotan? That'll be taking up most of the day. Because we're just gonna be going around drinking and finding her some man meats, I guess. I don't know. What do you do at a divorce party besides drink? Okay, I'm gonna keep reading and I will chat with you soon. Hi. So, tragic news. The book ended. I was just sitting here very innocently eating my Thai food and having a little romp. The audacity of this book to end. I understand now why people binge. You probably don't want to look at the bowl that my Thai food's in. It just ended on me abruptly. I will come back with what? Hello? I will come back with more coherent thoughts in a bit. I just read that so fast. I literally didn't realize I was at the end. I'm fine. Everything's fine. You know what? Don't worry about me. Hello, friends. Good news. It's been a couple days. Good, because I have had a chance to actually like come down from the ending of Flock and actually gather like, I don't know, a single thought. The bad news. Me and my hair are in a fight right now. We are not on speaking terms. She dried without checking in with me first, so now I just have to live with this for the next couple of days. And I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But you guys are on my side with this, so don't speak to her. Final thoughts and feelings about Flock. Why am I doing this with my hands? I think the atmosphere is fun. It's summery, it's angsty. Did you just hear my hip crack? That was really loud. I wonder if the microphone picked it up. Not the point. We're off track. I really like the heroine as well. The heroine, she really does stand up for herself very frequently. She was like, no, I actually don't want to take your BS that you're giving me. Actually, you treated me like garbage, so what we're not gonna do is be in a relationship. Figure your stuff out. On occasion, she does do this thing where she's like, oh, I don't want to be that girl, and I always hate that. That's the boys making you feel insecure. That's not you being clingy. That's them seeding unsuredness because they're being sneaky little secret keepers. Ooh, good one. Because of that, I feel like I don't super love the boys. It's not that I dislike them, I will be clear. I think because we're only like halfway or a third of the way through their character arc, I'm like, right now we're only seeing the build, the relationship, and we haven't seen the resolution. So you know, that could change. Like, my feelings about them could completely change in the next, like, book or two. The other thing, I don't know how I feel about the pacing. I don't know how I feel about that. Because as much as I was like, ooh, a reveal, I genuinely thought when I ended the book that I was 75% in. Like, I thought, like, that felt like it ended, like, mid-chapter, like, mid-scene, and I was just like, well, we just got some answers just now. I feel like maybe that could have been seeded a little bit better throughout the book leading up to this, because it feels like this book was written specifically just to have that cliffhanger. It just feels a little bit incongruent to have like nothing going on and then all of a sudden secrets revealed, dun dun dun. And then also to be kind of like literally mid-scene and the book's like, hope you read the next one. I don't know. I get why people are pulled in by this. Like, people love a cliffhanger. For me, it just feels a little bit cheap. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so sorry. I'm feeling kind of mixed about this book because like, genuinely, I loved the reading experience, but I think from my analytical part of my brain can't let a couple of things go. So I'm like, it's like 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I think honestly, a lot of how I will feel about this book will change based on the rest of the series. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? No? Dang. I tried my best. So that's that book. I think next I want to read A Love Letter to Whiskey because if I leave it for last, I fear I will not read it. I'm scared of my hurt feelings that I'm gonna get from this. I'm gonna get a little ways into that and I will update you on how things are going. See you soon. Good morning, Baltimore. Why am I doing this? That's actually a Hairspray reference. Does anyone know that musical? Please tell me you do. Already off track. I just got done working out, so I'm a little bit scatterbrained. Also flushed, sweaty, hair's even worse. It is the same day as that previous clip, and I'm now 50% into A Love Letter to Whiskey. This doesn't look like I'm halfway through, but this right here is his perspective stuff. What's this about? Our girl B. She is our bestie. She quite literally runs into a man, falls straight on her booty. He helps her up. She's like, this is the most gorgeous man that's ever existed. Her best friend comes running up behind her, and then Jamie, the guy she ran into, and her friend have a connection and they hit it off. They're in high school. It's like real cute because he's like a star basketball player and she's like a head cheerleader. And so it's real sweet and wholesome. And then B ends up getting to know Jamie because they're always going to like cheerleading events to support her, which I guess is just football. But anyways, her and her friend are going to like a party together. So like he's also there because he's the boyfriend. I'm overcomplicating this like I usually do. They start getting to know each other. It turns out they actually have a ton in common. They like the same types of music. They like surfing, and then we are kind of getting these like times in their life where they're meeting up and then deciding, actually this isn't gonna work. Okay. So now that we know what this is about, guys, I really need you to love me. My worst fears are coming true, but not in the way that I thought that they would. I don't feel anything. I don't hate it though. I will say that. I don't love it. I'm having a really hard time with it, and I put off filming this clip. It's fine. Let's process this together. What do I think is happening? So this is single POV, which I love. That is my favorite. Our girl is melancholy. I do love a melancholy heroine. I love a girl that sits with her sad feelings. I think what's happening with this in particular is that I don't really know B outside of how she relates to Jamie. Like she's got some hobbies, she's got some complicated family dynamics, which I also am liking. That's fun. I love when we have to wrestle with the fact that someone is not all good or not all bad. We're dealing with that in her family. Amazing. But but I don't really know her. And I think because of that, I'm not really feeling like angst and tension. I'm just kind of like a little bit irritated with them. Why can't you guys just like talk to one another? It seems like you guys could talk to one another and resolve a lot of this. And maybe that's just partially because of like the time in her life she's in, because we were getting her in like high school and college up till now. Maybe she'd start to develop a little bit more and she just needed time to process. I don't know, guys, please still love me. Again, I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it either. And I don't know what to do with that. I will say, I'm not writing it off entirely. Who knows what can happen in that next 50%. Maybe something really cool happens and I really just fall in love with her and really feel like I get to know her. I really wanted to bandwagon with everybody. I really was like hoping that this book was gonna like make me, wasn't the clip that I just had literally me being like, I'm scared of my sad feelings that I'm gonna have with this. I'm not feeling anything. And I don't want that to be true. Guys, what do we do about this? Are we still friends? I'm gonna finish the rest of this. I hope I pop in before I get to the 100% mark. What? I hope I check in before I'm done with this. You know what? Candice can still pull it together. We don't know yet, okay? I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm yammering. I'm trying so hard to justify myself. I'm gonna go. Do you still love me though? Please? Please? Okay, I'm looking just as disgusting as I was before. We're going to ignore that. We're going to continue to ignore that. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, so I'm further in, and good news, bad news. Well, the good news and the bad news is actually the exact same thing. I found the pain. I found it. It's just further in. So, okay, here's what, nope, that does not need to be in the shot. What am I doing? So here's the thing. I feel like I needed to see them like actually having little moments where it's like obvious that they're better for each other than the other people that they're around. Because prior to this, I was like, you guys are just dumb and need to have a conversation. Just do that and then that fixes everything. And now I feel like they're actually trying to be mature. They're trying to make like good decisions, but they just keep getting like drawn back together where they're like, we tried our best. We have to be back in one another's orbit, which is painful because they're not together, because why would they be? So I am loving it more now. What does that say about me that I had to be in pain to like this book? Actually, let's not think too hard about that. Let's move on. I'm so proud of myself for hanging in there. Thank you to everyone who believed in me. This feels like my acceptance speech. I'm liking it. Got here. And that's what really matters. And now I can fangirl with other people. Actually, you know what? We haven't read the whole book. We don't know this.
And this is all the evidence we needed to know that I'm a witch.
Hold on. Feelings could change once more. We don't know. Stay tuned. Because I don't know. Clearly, I know nothing. I'm going to continue reading. Okay, bye. So it's the next day. I'm totally fine, by the way. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I've got like this much left of the book, and I know these characters are about to piss me off. I can feel it. I can feel it. Things are too hunky dory. Conversations have not been had. They're gonna be stupid in here. They're gonna piss me off, and I can feel it. I'm just know I'm gonna want to fight these characters in like 10 seconds. I can feel it. I can feel it. Dumbness of their decisions descending upon me, even though they haven't even happened yet. But that's fine. Oh dear. Okay, well, bad news though, or good news, I guess, depending on how you look at it. I do have to go to work, so I do have to stop. See you after. All right, besticles, I've finished A Love Letter to Whiskey. Let's chat about it. Before I launch in, Kevin is back behind the camera, so he may pop in. He's making his decision right now, and I think he might go sleep in the sun. So just a heads up, he might be running around. Love Letter to Whiskey, how we thinking? How we feeling? Let's chat about this bad boy. I don't really know how to feel about this book, because it's not like I hated it. It's not like I was like sitting there like, this is horrible, 0 stars. But it's not like I felt like I ever really was immersed, other than that one section where I had some additional clips because I was feeling all the feelings. And I think part of it was we just got to like sit with the couple and their friends and family and see them interact a little bit more and see their familiarity in comparison to other people, and also just spend a few days with them, because otherwise I kind of felt like we were just constantly jumping around, and then B was having to kind of like catch us up on what was going on. And that specifically, if you've heard me and my immense displeasure in general with epilogues and how much I despise them, that's why I don't like them, is this way of like kind of hindsight, let me catch you up on what's going on, rather than just kind of like giving me a scene of them together and kind of showing me some of the parts of their lives that maybe we didn't get full closure on with the rest of the book. And I felt like because it was so much of like, I'm gonna catch you up on this new boyfriend that I have, I'm not getting the feeling part of it, and I'm not seeing it. So I'm just being told it. Does this make any sense? Again, I didn't hate the book. I'm trying to figure out like why I didn't like fully sink into it. And that's the only thing I can come up with. You know, the other thing that I got to thinking about too, I do wonder, because I was so aware that they would not get together until the very last pages, I wonder if that made me detach a little bit from them. Well, no, then it didn't, because then there was that one section that I was really invested. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm going to marinate a little bit more with this one and see if anything else bubbles to the surface, because I literally just finished this. So you're getting like fresh feelings and thoughts. So maybe I'll let this marinate. I don't like that I'm using that word. That needs to stop. I am meat technically. I mean, if we're getting really technical, I am actually meat. Okay, how did we get here? My brain is so strange. Okay, we'll figure out how to rate this later, because truly, at this point, I don't know. I think this is like a 4, because I finished this in like less than 24 hours. Like I finished this so fast. We'll figure it out later though. That's for later me to have to suffer with. Yeah, that seems fair. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. I am going to try and hopefully still update you today. I'm really kind of excited for this one. I'm really scared not to like it. Well, that is the theme of the video, isn't it? Books I've put off because I'm scared that I won't like them. I feel like this one though, I have had enough experience with Pam Godwin to know that consistently I love her stuff. Like I don't think have I rated anything below 4 stars ever? I don't think so. So like the chances of me liking this are good. This is literally just my own fears getting in the way. Kate Stewart I had never tried, so that's why I was nervous about that. I just had no idea what to expect. Or no, I did try Kate Stewart. I tried to read Drive years ago and immediately was like, this is not good. And I put that bad boy down in the first couple of chapters. I was like, I immediately hate this heroine. That's terrible. I'm so sorry if you like Drive. I barely gave it a chance. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. And then Candy Steiner, I've had kind of mixed luck. Like I loved her Red Zone Rival series, but it's kind of been hit and miss outside of that series. And so now Pam Godwin, I feel like we have our best chances of actually having a good time. But then again, you know, that deep-seated fear of being wrong is always present. So that's lovely. Okay, so anyways, we're moving on to Dark Notes. I'm gonna go read Get You a Lay to the Land. I have a bunch of monotonous tasks to do at work, so I might grab the audiobooks. I think I own that. I feel like I purchased that in an Audible sale like a long time ago. So I'm gonna maybe grab that and at least get myself like into it, and then we can do physical reading later. All right, Stanleys, let's do this. All right, hello. So I was just getting done with work. Kevin's kind of running around in here, so you might see him. But I just was about 30% into Dark Note, so I wanted to give you lay of the land, let you know my initial thoughts before I kind of sign off for today, because I feel like I've updated you so much today. So we have Ivory, and Ivory lives a really rough life. Like, the first 10 pages of this are so brutal. I really feel like Pam Godwin was like, I kind of want to weed out anybody that can't handle this book, and I'm just going to do it very brutally in these first 10 pages. Like, you get everything. You find out her brother probably uses, her mother is neglectful, our girl is being essayed, and her father's also dead. When her father passed, she ended up getting money in the will to pay for her entire education at this really prestigious conservatory, or this like music school. Although she's like living a very rough life, can't pay the bills, can't find enough money to like scrape together for food, she's going to this really amazing school. Now, this has made her brother and mother resentful towards her, which is stupid because she is a child and the person that did it was an adult. But also, I wouldn't trust them with money either. So I'm on his side. I'm on her dad's side. I think he made the right choice. I digress. But she really sticks out against her peers because she doesn't have money for the nicest clothes or an iPhone or even to pay for the textbooks that she needs. And she's very much ostracized by her peers. She's also ostracized because, most unfortunately, she does have to do some kind of unsavory things in order to be able to pay bills and put food on the table. That's where some of the essays do be coming in. But it's something that pays the bills, even though she hates doing it. And it's also earned her a bit of a reputation. But she is a very stunning girl, and she ends up catching the eye of Emmerich, her new piano teacher, who initially thinks that she's a teacher. So Emmerich is going to be working very closely with her because he is also a pianist, and he's very exacting in his instruction. He wants everything just so, and because Ivory's circumstances don't allow her to adhere to a lot of things perfectly, like she doesn't have textbooks on the first day or a tablet because those require money. Things like that, where he's like, where is your stuff? Why are you unorganized? And initially he's very harsh on her until he kind of starts peeling back the layers, and then he really tries to help her out, not only because he's like fighting his attraction for her, but also because he wants to see her succeed and really wants to help her in her journey to going to Leopold, which is like a Juilliard. And the main reason Ivory wants to go there, I think, not only because it turns out like really incredible musicians, but also because she knows that her tuition would be paid for there as well. Emmerich is also kind of interesting. He has a little bit of a reputation himself because he got kicked out of his last school because he was boinking another teacher. I think this is interesting because you do have Emmerich and Ivory having very similar rumors kind of going around about them. Emmerich is met with more intrigue though, because he's a dude, because of course. Ivory is met with a lot of contempt, like she's diseased or it can spread, like don't hang around her, in large part because of how she appears. She's a very developed young lady, and let me tell you, as someone who also got their boobs early, oh, the pain of that. I do really like Ivory because she is trying to, in many ways, like keep her head down and not draw attention, but also you can tell that she's got this little bit of fire in her where she wants to kind of like put people in their place, but she kind of knows that she can't, and just how exhausting that really is when it feels like there's danger around every corner. Every interaction really could be her undoing. Emmerich is interesting. I think I didn't know what to really think of him at first because he was exacting, but he was also initially very much using his position of power kind of push the boundaries, and she, because of her history, was obviously not okay. But I feel like he was able to rein himself in and also figure out how to best actually support her, even if that means going against her exact wishes some of the time, because he knows that like long term this is a thing that will benefit. But I also like that Ivory does feel like a very willing participant. Like it's clear that there's attraction. It's clear that she wants something more. And in some instances, she's pursuing him when he's trying to kind of like calm things down. But I do like that he is actively trying to build trust with her, taking into account her history and really looking to protect her. I am overall enjoying it. I don't know if Emmerich's my favorite hero, but I don't dislike him necessarily. This is another one that is a pretty easy read. I think this feels very fun. I don't know that I feel like a ton of like threat of them being caught, even though there have been a couple situations where I'm like, ooh, we cut it close there. For some reason, I'm like, no, Emmerich's got it under control. I'm actually not worried about this, even though, I mean, just based on his history, like, we should be worried. I will update you when I have anything else to say. I probably won't update you until tomorrow is my guess. This evening is kind of packed, so I just think that we'll just see each other later. But I'm gonna get back to reading, and I will see you soon. So, I was just reading before work here, and oh, we have Kevin joining us because I was also petting him. Was having a grand little time, having a little giggle. Hit a little spicy scene, and oh, sir, hello, excuse you. That's. Thank you. He's sick of my bullshit. Yeah, so I hit the first spicy scene and I was like, ooh, sexy, fun, finally. And then I was personally victimized by the word choice used. The word used, word of the day, was womb. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate that word because, and bear with me, it reminds me of church. Because when else do you hear that word used but when in reference to the Virgin Mary? Like, literally never, or at least I never do. Oh, I hate it. I hate it here. I'm not having a good time with that. That threw me out so hard. It was so good until then. And then that just, I'm gonna keep reading because the rest of it is good. I have to remind myself of that. So I was just reading on my lunch break, as I do often. Does someone care to explain to me why this man is wearing a fedora? Someone needs to call Tan France. Unacceptable. This is a fashion crime. I'm like irrationally upset. Why did that detail have to be in here? Because now I went from picturing like a really hot man to that like weird guy in town where like wearing a fedora is his thing. It's a no from me. Absolutely not, Emmerich. No. All right, friends. I have finished Dark Notes by Pam Godwin, so let us chat about it. I end up really enjoying this, but I will say I can definitely tell that this is an earlier work of Pam's. A lot of this ended up being Emmerich and Ivory building trust and figuring out what the future looks like and how to navigate the complex situation that they found themselves in because of her past and present and because of the student-teacher dynamic and where she wants to go in the future. This is still very dark, though. There is animal harm on page in here. I did have to skip that section. I saw it coming and I just kind of went right on past because I don't want to read that. I'm good. So there was that. There was also one point kind of like not in its favor. There was like other woman drama. I didn't feel like it was out of place for this book. Like it kind of made sense just based on Emmerich's past. However, it was bizarre because it came and went so quickly that I kind of kept waiting for it to come back around, that at the end, it kind of left me questioning why that was even included. I don't even think it lasted a couple of chapters. Are so many other like actual things that they have to navigate together, especially with like her family and getting into Leopold and the school. There's already so much that I was just kind of like, why? But I really did like their relationship. I really felt like he was very patient, very understanding of what she needed from this relationship, of what she needed just kind of in general, and was willing to wait and let her be in control of the pacing and kind of figuring out actually when she was ready versus when she thought she might be ready, navigating that in a way that was ultimately always about protecting her. They really waited to go there until much further in the book. So I felt like the relationship developed, felt very natural and slow, despite how kind of fast the other aspects it felt like of their relationship seemed to move. I just loved Emmerich's protectiveness because there was like a line in here where he was doing something to protect Ivory and she was like, stop it, it's not worth it, like you could go to prison, you need to just stop. And he was like, this isn't worth it, but you are. And I was just like, oh, I really did enjoy this. Now, again, as I said, it's not my favorite Pam Godwin. I can definitely tell that she has made huge leaps in her storytelling, but you can definitely see that she was already a very complex and sophisticated writer, even much earlier in her career. This is written, I think, like a decade ago. Yeah, this is from 2016. I think this one is probably like a 4.5 star. It's not a full 5 stars. Full points off for the fedora. That was so upsetting. So just to kind of recap, Flock, I had a great time reading, but I did feel like it was written for the cliffhanger. I think there was maybe like a pacing thing there, but a really fun summary read. I did read Exodus as well, and the pacing issues continue in that book. And that book is much more emotional, and there's just like a lot more violence. It feels entirely different than that book. So just know that going into Flock, because it reads like one book. I don't know if I'm going to continue to Finish Line because I think I got what I needed from those 2 books, and I'm honestly baffled that there's another book. Thinking it's like 3.5 stars for that one. Now let's talk about A Love Letter to Whiskey. This one, I'm gonna be honest, I still don't know how to rate it because it's not a 4 star. A 4 star to me is like a full send. I liked it, I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed parts of this, but not the whole thing. I don't necessarily love it for me, but would I recommend it to other people? Do I think other people would like it? Usually that's what I rate as a 3 star, but it doesn't feel like a 3 star either because that feels too low because I don't have like major gripes with this book other than the kind of like montaging and yada yada development of some aspects of the characters' lives and just feeling like there wasn't enough time spent in like a specific time period where we're just seeing them back to back day after day rather than kind of like jumping around in the timeline and kind of like moving it forward. I don't know how to rate this. I think for right now, I'm going to give it a 3.5. But if the rating is different in my wrap up, you saw nothing, you heard nothing, don't ask any questions. All right, so those are all the books for you. I have to be honest, I'm really nervous to post this vlog. I knew when I decided that this was going to be my vlog that I was kind of taking a risk. And I will say I did enjoy all of the books on some level. I didn't hate any of them, but I'm like sad that I didn't love them as much as everybody else. But if you loved these books, I would love to hear about it. If you didn't like it, I mean, I guess I'd love to hear that too. I would love to hear what you guys think about these books. And if there's any other really popular reads that you do think that I would like, I want to put those on my TBR because I do want to like popular books. I really do. I don't enjoy being a snarky hater. And with all of that, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video if you did in fact like it, even just like a little bit. And don't forget to subscribe if you would like more content from me. And I really, really, really do hope I see you on my next video. Bye-bye.